Today on CityCast Chicago, we're about halfway through Ramadan, my friends, the Muslim holy month marked by, amongst other things, charity, spiritual reflection, and daily fasting. These fasts are broken each evening with a special meal called an iftar. Well, last year, we had the privilege of joining a community iftar on Chicago's Northwest Side, serving up over 200 pounds of food for the hundreds of people who come and break fast together each evening. They talked about the importance of not only celebrating, but supporting one another now more than ever. It's Wednesday, March 12th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago's talking about. I'm currently here at the Muslim Community Center in Old Oving Park at a community iftar as folks are coming together for evening prayer and to break fast for the day as they continue their observance of Ramadan. I'm here with Amjad Qadri. Amjad, welcome to CityCast Chicago.
Thank you for having us and visiting our institution.
No, I'm happy to be here. We're going to learn a little bit about this building, a little bit about what it means for people to come together for an iftar at the end of the day. But for folks listening, can you set us up? For people who are not familiar, what is the holy month of Ramadan?
So Ramadan is one of our 5 pillars, and it is the month where Muslims will fast from dawn to sunset. So that means about an hour and a half or so before sunrise, and at the moment that's right before about 5:45, and up until 7 p.m., they will not eat or drink anything throughout the day. So they'll get up ahead of time. Like myself, I'll get up, have some water, and then I'll take my medicine. And then I'll eat a proper meal at sunset. But a lot of people will get up and they'll have a normal breakfast. They'll have cereal, they'll have eggs, they'll
just do it a little bit earlier before the sun.
Yes.
Got it. So I imagine during Ramadan, for different people, that might require different conditions. So if you're thinking about elders, if you think about super young children, if you think about people who are pregnant, are there different maybe considerations for individuals during Ramadan?
Yes and no. So anyone that cannot fast due to health or age or anything like that, they're not supposed to.
Okay.
But aside from that, if you can, you should. So we have younger kids, our now 9-year-old. Last year, we would tell him, have breakfast, you can skip lunch, and then you can eat with us in the afternoon. So he wouldn't wake up at 5 a.m. Whereas the 9-year-old this year now, he was 8 last year, he actually does get up and eats, and then he doesn't eat all day. So it just depends. And then the elderly, it's really up to them. They're, maybe as it goes with a lot of elderly, they are more religiously conscious. So it doesn't matter what's happening, they're trying to fast. So
now Ramadan is a month. Is that true?
That is absolutely correct. We follow the lunar calendar.
Okay.
And the lunar calendar is about 10 to 11 days less than the solar calendar, which is why it moves up every year. So had you come in the middle of summer, we'd be fasting almost from about 4 a.m. to about 8:30 when the sun used to go down. I mean, it's going to come up.
So the summer is a tougher Ramadan, obviously.
Definitely tougher. So, that's not going to come for us, for another 30 years or so.
I was going to say 2028, 2029, when you're in January, it might be a little bit easier.
Yes, yeah. So, if someone has to make up days, like I travel a lot for work. When you travel, again, it's one of the reasons why you don't have to fast. So if I decide to skip a couple of days when I'm traveling, then if I have to make them up, I'll make them up in the winter days. So outside of the not eating part, it's not just not eating. Throughout the day, we're also supposed to stay away from, getting easily angry. Though, as we all know, there's that term hangry. And so, if you're not eating, you're very likely to be hangry, but that's where you're supposed to practice patience more. Also, you're supposed to abstain from intimacy, any relations with your spouse. So keeping all that in mind, that's what you do. And then at night, because any good deed that you do in the month of Ramadan is multiplied, you're supposed to do extra remembrance. So after all Muslims have 5 daily prayers, and our last prayer in the evening at the moment starts about 8:45, 9 o'clock. And so there's actually extra prayers. And what most people try to do is they try to finish all of the Quran at least listening to it with congregation in prayer. So every night, if here you'll see it at most mosques from 9 to about 10:30, 11 o'clock, the mosques are full, the parking's full, the streets are full, and people are standing for majority of it listening to 1/30th of the Quran or 1/27, just so they probably finish about 27 days, 29 days, depending on where you go.
No, we really appreciate y'all letting us come in.
No problem, anytime.
Just a quick peek at our sisters. They're just sitting. My name is Shad Syed. I am actually the building chair at MCC. I've been serving this role for around 2 years. So we've been managing all sorts of activities happening at the mosque.
What is that? What does the month personally mean for you? How do you prepare and give back during the month?
So this month, I mean, I work all year long, but this is the month of forgiveness. I look at all the blessings that have been bestowed upon me and upon our community. But on the other side, I look at all the atrocities happening where we don't have any control over things. One of the beauties about my religion is that I have nothing between my creator and myself when it comes to asking for, there's no intermediary. So basically, I turn around every now and then and I ask our creator to give sabr, patience to those who are suffering for no fault of theirs. And this is happening globally.
Oh, so my name's Amal. I am a volunteer, not just with MCC, but with the city of Chicago, with all around. So I'm just a kind of a city volunteer. So a big thing with our religion is during the year, as well as during the month of Ramadan, we give back, right? So not just in like your own time and labor, but it's financial. It's part of our religion to ensure that those next to you, your neighbors, and those that are coming into the city, those that are coming into this country for the first time, they're getting the sustenance they need. So part of my work is around ensuring that new refugees have a place to come here, but also, rental assistance and utility assistance and so forth. But what we help probably close to, it's like a couple thousand families a year where they're coming through and we're helping, especially during this month. It's going to be around 500 families that we help.
Because part of Ramadan is also we are fasting not just to restrain ourselves, but to understand that there are people in the world that it's not a choice for them. What's coming out of Gaza is just heart-wrenching. Every day you hear of a family member that's lost a family member. One of the imams that grew up or was in this area, who's in California now, he said the whole family is gone now. Like everyone that was there, they're all in an apartment building. It got bombed and the whole family is gone. And stuff like that, to hear that is just devastating. And, one of the imams said, every time you're breaking fast, just at least make a prayer for them.
A Slice of Life is coming to Paramount Theater, the Chicago area premiere of Waitress, now through March 30th. Based on the hit 2007 movie, the music and lyrics are by Grammy Award winner Sarah Bareilles, and to add to the list of accolades, it was nominated for 4 Tony Awards, including Best Musical and Best Original Score. The show is basically about a waitress. Her name is Jenna. She feels very trapped in an unhappy marriage, but she also a talented pie maker. So she finds room to explore her options, her emotions, her situation. Her friends offer her, let's just say, some conflicting recipes for happiness. But real talk, only Jenna can do the soul searching to decide for her, what are the right ingredients for her life. You see what I'm doing. It's about a restaurant, so I'm using some restaurant metaphors. Make Paramount your home for entertainment and get your tickets today at ParamountAurora.com or call 630-896-6666. Use promo code CityCast for $5 off up to 4 tickets. For the typical person who's coming in, right before sundown? What is that sort of order of operations when you come in? Like if you're here for an hour or so, what does that look like from the moment you come in through the evening?
So most people that come in, if they haven't done their third prayer of the day, their afternoon prayer, they will come. They'll do that, and then they'll sit down usually and they'll read Quran. The Quran is in Arabic, so even for those of us that aren't native Arabic speakers like myself, we are taught how to read the Quran from when we're little. So they'll do that and they'll sit and contemplate. And then a few minutes before it's time to eat, everyone will go get their plates. Usually it's a little bit of fruit. The tradition is to break with a date or water, or date and water, or milk. So you'll see a lot of that. So before they break, the adhan is called, which is the call to prayer. And so the call to prayer starts. Everyone breaks their fast. And as soon as they're done with small snacks, then they'll make the congregation prayer, which is the post-sunset, our fourth prayer of the day. When they're done, then they'll go and they'll get a full plate of whatever the meal happens to be that day.
For you throughout your life, are there any staple foods that you can expect besides dates that maybe are in that meal after fourth prayer? Like you can't really have a post-prayer meal if some of these things aren't there.
For me, yes, there is. I'm of the Desi, which is the Indian Pakistani background.
Okay.
And we have what are called samosas, little triangles, usually meat filled, but they can also be vegetable filled or potato filled. And for me, a Ramadan is not really Ramadan without having some samosas. So that's definitely one for me and probably a large group of people. And then being from the Hyderabad, well, half of my family is from the Hyderabad area in India. There's also something called dhembare, which is a yogurt-based fried almost chips. And so that's like if someone made that, like I'm not even eating anything else in Ramadan. Like I'll have just a lot of that and I'll be good.
Obviously, the Muslim world is vast and is made up of so many different ethnic and racial backgrounds. What are just some other, maybe as you've been coming to this center throughout your life, what are some other foods that you've just seen over the years maybe be added as more people migrate from a place or have been staples since you can remember?
So obviously hummus is definitely one of them. Olives would be another one. And then chickpeas. There's multiple chickpea dishes that I've seen in all of the different traditions, whether it's our Sudanese brothers, Somalian brothers, and they even have versions of the samosa. They call it the sambosa, which is a little bit bigger, but just as tasty, I've noticed. So then one of the staple dishes for dinner time will be like biryani.
Okay.
And that's what I've known growing up is what we did mostly. As our community got more ethnically diverse, you'll have the lamb shank rice dishes from either the Yemeni community or the Arab community, or the lamb roast. So it changes. I couldn't even tell you what we're gonna have tonight. Had you come in the early years, I can guarantee you there'd be biryani because that's what it was almost every night. But now I know it changes because the cooks are volunteers.
I was going to say, who's doing the cooking during Ramadan?
Yeah, for years, I mean, when I grew up, I knew them because they were my friends' parents that did it. So they were of the Indian Pakistani origin. But then it changed to a couple of the Arab brothers started volunteering in the kitchen and then they took over. So for a while it was an Afghani brother, then it was a Moroccan brother from what I remember.
So we'll just go ahead and we'll have some food.
Enjoy the dinner.
Thank you. All right. We'll come back for chai. And when I open the door, this is the back side. This is where all the action's happening. So you can quick peek.
The amount of people is ridiculous. So the line was much shorter when we were little.
How does this compare to maybe the biggest or smallest iftar? Like how does it range throughout the month, or is it consistently?
It's consistent. We're feeding about 400 to 500 people every night, I would say.
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
I feel bad when taking place. People in line. They're like, who are those people with that microphone going through the back door?
Part of being Muslim is guest eat first, so they know, they know the drill.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Looks like we got some biryani, some pita, some little cucumber salad. Looks like tabbouleh. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing on that last one.
Does anyone else want tea? I'm going to grab some tea. You're good with that? You want some more? Okay.
How long have you been visiting this particular center?
I am 48 years old, so 48 years.
Oh, man.
Well, that's not true. So we were established in 1969 as an organization, but we bought this center in 82. So since 82, we had a center in Kedzie. We probably started feeding the community almost instantaneously, definitely for about 40 plus years, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit longer than that. And, the meals, the nice thing about it is it's free to anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone that walks in, there's no check at the door. Are you Muslim, not Muslim? And because we are such a multi-racial community, you would never know. Unless someone really tried to make themselves stick out, you can come eat and leave and no one would know, whether you came here every day or you didn't.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say, there seems like people of all walks of life, as you walk through here, young kids and older folks. What has it been like to watch this place grow and to take in new families and new people over your lifetime?
It's been a blessing to see it grow. For a lot of people that don't have community, this is a very migrant-heavy community. Their family might be overseas. They just came here for work, or they just recently came here. This is their community. So this gives them a sense of belonging. So it's beautiful to see it grow. It loses that homey feeling that we had when the community was small. Even with our own family, when the community was small, I remember all our second, third cousins, we'd all get into my dad's basement and we'd have a gift exchange. Now, if we try to do a gift exchange, there's like 100 kids. It takes a whole Excel sheet to coordinate a gift exchange. It's not just as someone buys a bunch of gifts. So it's just changed over time. And so when we see all these people and we're wondering who they are, to me, it's amazing, having grown up, being one of the only couple of kids in school that was Muslim. The other day, Shaq was talking to Kareem, both of them Muslim, and they greeted each other on national TV, on TNT, saying salam, peace be upon you, to each other. And then when they were done, or they might have done it when they were done, but they said inshallah, which is God willing, this will happen. We'll see each other again. And, I'm choked up by that because I didn't grow up seeing that. I saw Kareem growing up. I knew he was Muslim, but I didn't see him speaking Arabic on national TV, saying assalamu alaikum, But now our kids see Miss Marvel in a hijab. And so to them, being Muslim is just normal. To us, growing up, we were the other. We kind of, had to hold our own. So it's a beautiful thing, but you also miss the closeness in knowing everyone. I knew everyone that came to the mosque back then. Now my kids, there's no way they know all the kids that come to the mosque. So, yep.
We talk so much about the practice throughout the month, but it all sort of, in many ways, culminates with a celebration at the end. I believe 3 days of celebration. Can you describe what Eid is for folks?
Yeah, so Eid is commanded by God to be a day of celebration. You're supposed to have a good meal before you go to prayer. The Eid prayer happens early in the morning. So usually for most folks, it's 9 or 10 o'clock. And you're supposed to visit family and friends and just have a jolly day. Again, when we were young, all we did is we met together as family. And for us, that was fun because there was enough kids. We would play football, or, whether it was football on their knees in the basement, or even there's a lot of football in upstairs. There's a lot of classrooms for the Sunday school and the Saturday school. But now it's gotten to a point where we do Eid carnivals. So a lot of mosques will bring in rides for kids on the weekend after Eid and make it a proper celebration. So, but we will make sure we have a jump house. We'll make sure, one of the uncles I say uncles, he's younger than me, but one of the elders that has kids got pony rides for the kids, so we'll do what we can to make sure that they understand it's a day of celebration.
For someone like myself who, doesn't observe, who isn't fasting, what's something I can learn during Ramadan, even if I'm not sort of participating day to day?
Our other location at the moment has an interfaith dinner going on. And a lot of it is spurred with just the religious community trying to keeping a good relation with each other. And to the best that we can. A lot of us are struggling with the same thing, probably struggling with the same thing with our youth. And, one of the things, and I'll sound repetitive here, but really what we want to make sure the month of Ramadan is a month of reflection. If we leave the month of Ramadan the same as we came in, really nothing happened. So the goal is to be able to add a good deed that you're doing in the month of Ramadan that you can keep consistent throughout the year, and then the goal is to be able to add to that the year after. So, if that means that you decided, hey, in the month of Ramadan, I'm going to give a little bit to different charities every month, then you try to keep that up throughout the year. Or if I'm going to volunteer some extra time during the month of Ramadan to do that throughout the year. And really, when we are staying away from the food, to not let it just be some kind of dietary plan, but to really be a reflection of the fact that we are better off, and to make sure that we're doing what we can to make sure that the people that aren't, we help them as much as we can.
The Muslim Community Center is hosting daily iftars from 5 to 7 p.m. They're also accepting donations for the annual Ramadan project on their website. This helps them provide meals delivered nightly to over 30 newly arrived families. Before we get out of here, please bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. There you can catch up on old podcast episodes, subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Chicago, and if you got it like that, consider becoming a member. Some good news. I know we barely halfway through the week, but I got a couple of Saturday events for you to mark on your calendar. You got Friends Speed Dating at Call and Response Books in Hyde Park at 7 p.m. You heard me right. Friends Speed Dating. There's the Art Therapy Jam Session and Kickback at 7 in Pilsen, hosted by my man Binky. And then there's Slow Mo. They're back with another party at Sleeping Village, celebrating Chicago's queer community and joy. That starts at 9 p.m. Check out our events calendar on our website. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow, sitting down with a very special and familiar voice, talking all things driving in and around Chicago. So the conversation get a little irritating at times, y'all. I'm just warning you now. Talk to you then. Peace.
Okay. My name is Jacoby. Today I had some yogurt with a little granola on top.
And then you could say your name again.
My name is Amjad. I haven't eaten it all today.
And that's kind of what we're here to talk about.
And I can't sing it all. I don't even know why I'm trying.
I appreciate you getting in the spirit with me, Amjad.